Welcome to the Scrapyard. I am your host, BC.
The Savage.
Fucking Suko.
Flaming Beast, the son of a sage shepherd, yes. What's what it says in my headline?
Did any of us say the headline?
Anyway.
Oh, sorry. I phased out for a second. Briximus Prime. Hi. I'm here.
You awake now?
Yes.
Anyways. All right. Hey, Rob, come here real quick.
Do I need to pray?
Don't worry, I'm awake. I'm awake. Okay, let's do this. I'm ready to go.
Anyways, so tonight's topic is going to be on the freedom of creativity. But before we get into the freedom of creativity, we got to do figure appreciation of the week. And as per usual, Briximus, you're first.
Okay, it's me. The one who's being still indecisive. You know what? Screw it. Just do this one. I'll just do this one just because I ended up liking this more than I thought I would.
I think that was actually Bees' last week.
It was.
I can change it.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I got it just because I thought it was kind of cool. Then I ended up getting it, and I was like, this is actually kind of good.
Exactly.
All right, Bees, you're up.
Okay. My figure appreciation, given that it's the 85th anniversary of Marvel, I figured I'd appreciate one of my favorite figures, the Marvel Legends Ghost Rider with the Hell Cycle.
What did you?
He's never allowed back on the show ever again.
I really want that figure, and no one's willing to sell it to me.
Dude! What the fuck? You salty bitch! So anyway, can I finish?
Yes, yes, you can finish. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
An opportunity. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, I got this back in 2018, and this is a very popular figure, and god damn, like, I believe still in the box, he's very valuable, but I don't give a shit about that. I just wanted to get the figure to display it. Doesn't look very good in the box still, if you ask me.
But once you get it out, get him on that bike, and you get him set up perfectly, he looks spectacular.
Exactly. And Marvel, Hasbro had announced the Danny Ketch, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, Ghost Rider, which he has his own Hell Cycle, and I pre-ordered that. I'm like, ooh, I think I need that.
He's a fan.
Same. Yeah, I need that motorcycle.
All right, Robuco, you're up.
Robuco.
I'm gonna give it to a figure that pretty much surprised the hell out of me. Or Spark Nightshade.
Very nice.
They are quite a good figure.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
They really are.
Dance monkey.
Zuko, you missed him to dance. He's right there. What the fuck?
You son of a bitch.
Also, very nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. So what I was going to do was I was going to make this my figure appreciation of the week. Howsoever, I heard someone say, no, keep that out of here. We're only doing Transformers. Okay. Transformers Palpatine. Go fuck yourself.
Nice.
Perfect.
still counts, bitch.
Anyways, so my turn. My figure appreciation of the week, which kind of ironic. It was a gift from Savage of all people, who I literally just got done smacking the fucking shit out of.
We're totally not a
It's the Grapon.
Ooh.
This actually turns into a little dude, so it
Yeah.
counts.
Exactly. I was gonna say technically it's a figure because it transforms the little ranger thingy dude.
So yeah. Anyways, that's my figure appreciation of the week. Because wild access.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into this. Freedom of creativity. Now, to explain real quick to Bricks, things have changed heavily now for season 2. We only talk on the topic for 30 minutes on the clock now. So if there's anything you do want to say, you got to get it out ASAP. So, with that said, the freedom of creativity. What makes that? What is the freedom of creativity for you? For me, freedom of creativity is the ability to basically spread my wings in the creative space. Like, okay, I have this story I'm writing. I have these characters doing these specific things. I'm following a very specific niche. But what if I choose to do this with it instead? And then my brain trails off with the many different ideas and many different story arcs that I can come up with as I'm writing the story itself. And anybody else can jump in. So
Sometimes freedom of creativity when it comes to certain things like figures and stories I will also write down because we're also writing down our own little fandoms here and there, our own little fanfics, our own little creativity adventures. We get a little creative sometimes with certain things. Like for instance, to point out my favorite figure of all time at this point for some reason, Shard. She's neither Decepticon nor Autobot. Just make your own faction. Fuck it. Why not? The option is there. So just do whatever you want. The fact that there's a blank label should be creative for liberties. And as well as, for example, when it comes to certain other aspects, like for instance, I believe TFA mentioned this one point in time when he was still here, that on technicality, the biggest form of technicality, Armada Skywarp was on screen, but he never had a voice. So by that form of creativity, with the freedom attached to it, you can voice him however the hell you want.
Mm-hmm.
So freedom of creativity really gives you lots of leeways, lots of opportunities, and lots of, let's be honest, sometimes fun behind it. Lots of fun.
Yeah. Could I make a small comment?
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned about the Infernac universe figures. I actually got this guy because I came up with a good storyline behind the why they exist. And that was what convinced me to buy this figure in the first place.
Even more power to the point. It's the fact that, you were able to just sit down and go, okay, so in this universe, even though this is completely a fucking rock, guess what? I could just go with, this planet was also infused with energon and dark and cybertronic matter and shit like that.
Well, actually, the story thing I came up behind it was that it's an after effect of Shockwave's or 13 experiments.
I mean, either way.
I'd like to make a quick comment / joke real quick. Also in that same universe, the Pioneers used to ride those babies for miles.
Okay.
Come on, you can't tell me the joke. You can't tell me the joke doesn't work.
It works, but damn it, bees.
Throws.
SpongeBob is having its 25th anniversary this year, so it works.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Feel old yet? Old as a rock?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a fuck off.
Hey, Rabuko, you got something to say?
What I find myself doing sometimes is I see certain scenes in movies go a certain way. I'm like, what if they did it this way? Or this person died like this instead of this? I kind of play in my own head, how would I change things differently?
You'd probably be doing better than the Marvel's What If.
Oh, hell no. Nah.
Fuck you.
Hey, that was a compliment. Because anything right is better than the Marvel's What Ifs. At least in terms of current streaming media.
Oh, hey guys, you know what to do?
I'm doing it from over here because I'm right here.
Maybe yes.
Maybe yes. Maybe yes. Maybe yes. Maybe yes. Maybe yes.
Maybe yes.
You were so out of it, Bricks. You sure you're okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm just tired.
Well, your ass.
Look, listen, I am always tired. I will go to sleep at 10 or 3 in the morning. Doesn't matter. I wake up tired.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always tired.
Anyway,
You so
so Rabuko, are you? Have you finished saying what you're?
yeah,
saying?
I finished what I wanted to say.
Right. So my take on the whole freedom of creativity, or is that what it was called? Yeah, freedom of creativity is displaying when it comes to display options, like how you display your collection. Now, I no longer have the arc back there, but yeah, sometimes let's say your shelving unit is like a little is higher than you would like it to be, so like it's because it's so close to the ceiling. Like, hang on. So my previous apartment, the ceilings were a little bit higher, so I could actually have Metroplex back there standing up. So I moved into here, and the ceilings here are actually noticeably lower. So I could get him to fit in theory, but I would have to like lower his little cannon thingies on either side of his head, and like either remove or like point forward his little shoulder cannons. I just think it just looked weird that way. So I decided to have him posed up there, sitting down on. Well, it's the only thing I had at the moment. I guess I'll get something. Shut up. Get something. This thing turned off. Something more. I don't know, maybe like a giant rock made of paper mache or styrofoam or something. I'll figure something out. And basically, the idea is that he's sitting down because finally there's no more war. He can finally rest and be at peace. That's what I had in mind for that. And then the arc. Yeah, he's a little too damn tall to be able. It's like it's a little too tall because there's so like only so much space. I couldn't figure out how to get him posed back there. So when BC had visited a couple of years ago, he managed to figure out a good pose to put him in. And I still have him, like, I'm still figuring out where I can put the arc, and I still have him in that pose. just like sometimes like it's as simple as like a pose to be able to get everything fitting. Where did BC go?
Probably.
Bodily duties took over for a second. Sorry about that.
You're good. Wait, I was just talking about my Titan class, the Arc, and how you helped me figure out a creative way to get him to fit back there. Long story short. So, and just also to summarize that, like, sometimes if you have a difficult time getting your figures to fit in a display, sometimes it's just a matter of getting them in a very good and effective pose. Howdy.
Hiya.
Hope you're doing well, Mr. TFA.
So yeah, the freedom of creativity is something that I also feel some people genuinely just don't take enough of an advantage of, if you know what I mean. I don't know yet, TFA. We're still kind of in the middle of the conversation. We'll see when it comes to the second segment. But yeah, the freedom of creativity is something that, once again, like I said, I had something and I completely fucking lost it. Would somebody else like to take over? Because I'm not gonna lie, that really annoyed the shit out of me.
I have something that I just barely remembered.
Go ahead.
This was one of my childhood toys I had for the longest time. Like I played the crap out of this thing a lot. It's the Generations Deluxe Tankor.
Ooh.
And Tankor has all these little like bits and all over his chest, like these little gray tab right here, and these like little red rocket pods or whatever. In the show, most of this robo detail never really had any actual use or anything, but as a kid, I came up with all kinds of uses, like this little gray thing right here I thought was like a camera. This over here I just assumed was more rocket launching stuff, and like I came up with all, like, because of my creative mind or whatever, I was just always coming up with all kinds of stuff that technically didn't actually have a use behind it, but I kind of came up with one just off of what I could see on certain figures.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, please.
Also, I wanted to comment on that Tankor figure. If you have the core class Beast Machines Cheetor, that actually scales pretty well with that Tankor.
The only reason I bought this figure.
Thank you for this. And like, I literally just discovered today that I could do this whole thing. This isn't the final setup. I'm gonna be talking to Avenging Tragedy to make a whole new thing. Which, by the way, Avenging, if you're watching, hey bud. But yeah, so with kind of the way things are right now, that whole thing of kind of coming up with different features on the toy that never actually had a use in the actual source material it came from. Excuse me.
Probably bodily duties.
How's everyone's day?
Tiresome.
It's all right. By the way, Nightshade thinks they're the word. Bird. They are the word. Hey, watch it. I'm armed and dangerous.
Also, it wasn't until recently I finally found out recently that I didn't realize Nightshade was not the first owl transformer.
Yeah, there's at least one other, like Red 2 Prowl from Beast Wars.
Yeah, I recently found that figure at a thrift store. I didn't buy it because the chrome on it was flaking off like crap.
Hmm.
Of course I can.
It's a baby.
It is a baby.
It's a ginger.
I gotta say this right now because I've been noticing. I don't know why. I don't know if Sudex mentioning it. Bricks, your mic sensitivity is really high. I gotta turn that down, man. I'm hearing you hit everything on the table.
Yeah. Okay.
Hear that?
Say hi.
I was wondering what the heck that was.
I'm not asking what that was. I'm saying turn that down. Like turn down the volume on. It's like in terms of setting.
Or put something underneath it that'll dampen the noise, maybe.
Oh, I did not know this. StreamYard has a little thing here that says reduce background noises. How's this?
If you're messing with something on your table or your mic or whatever, then it's better now.
Okay, I went and adjusted my settings.
I can mirror this. I just discovered that. Interesting.
How does my mic sound now?
Try messing with your phone on your table because I know it was hearing that. You're messing with it.
So does anyone else have something to say on the topic at hand?
I think I kind of do, unless someone else wants a chance to speak, because I don't think we all have.
No, you barely got a chance to speak. So you go ahead and say what you want to say.
I got to speak.
Yeah, you have more to say. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I guess with freedom of creativity, if you're like very passionate in terms of the, the thing you're into, regardless of it being Transformers or Power Rangers, hell, since it's the current new fling right now, you can create a new dimension in one of the circles of hell for like Hell Boss or Has Been Hotel. I know those things have been. I know that string of fandom has been lighting up like a fucking firework.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Really not wrong.
Nope, not wrong.
So yeah, no, just if y'all have something you want to create, the only one that's gonna tell you no is you. So crack at it.
Yeah.
Another thing that I kind of want to bring up when it comes to the whole freedom of creativity thing, it's how the third-party companies have managed to really learn to use that to their advantage. Like, I'm not trying to go into the whole one is better than the other argument, but let's be real. The one thing that really gives third-party companies the edge against the official stuff is the fact that they are not barred by the same rules and regulations as the official stuff is, which means they have a lot more freedom to do what they want. You're just not liking this topic.
I was just gonna say I've also taken advantage of that because I built that Lego Soundwave, that custom Lego Soundwave, because I was tired that Lego didn't make another Transformer after Optimus Prime, so I was getting impatient, and I was like, I'll just go make my own, and I just used my creativity and built my own Lego Soundwave. Does anyone else have anything else to share on the topic?
Anyone else want to chime in on that? Anyone at all?
I really got nothing else to add.
I have one or two other things I'd like to say, but I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to say something before. And if I don't get a chance to, then oh well. Respect the time limit.
So who else has something to say?
Bees.
I do. Customization, like customizing figures, that's something that's creative. They can do that's creative. Like whether it's like missing paint apps on something, or just like making a new figure or character. I'm currently in the middle of making a Power Link Starscream, but due to finances, finances, I'd rather wait until they're a little better so I can get back on that. Because I think I'm just gonna remove all the paint that I have on it on the figure right now, and start fresh with spray paint because it would look better and look nicer. And I also got a pin puncher little kit, so I can remove the pins to be able to break it down a lot more, to paint everything more thoroughly and better. Then clear coat it before reassembling it. Yeah. Oh, and then like I mentioned about missing paint apps, I had recently done something. I found, much to my surprise, this thing was out for this thing came out like a year and a half ago. Lord Draken helmet, which it was missing. Like apparently, I never noticed this until someone pointed out. There's actually supposed to be this area right here is actually an extra set of eyes on the helmet. So I took it upon myself, pop this off, and paint all this like underneath it red. And because it wasn't the exact same shade of red on the eyes here, I decided to color those as well. And then because I didn't feel like going through the trouble of taping everything except the eyes to spray clear coat on it, like, you know what? Handy dandy clear nail polish. Put a few coats of clear nail polish on it for a good protection and thickness. We called it a good day. And another thing I'm going to do, I actually got this when it became available in late 2022. And yeah, because of that stupid headband, I could not get this to close over my head. So I removed it, and I was like, okay, let's see how well it fits without it. I can get it to close over my head, but this. So I ordered some adhesive helmet pads to put this in it so I could be able to wear it and see through it, and hopefully not have any issues with this being able to... Oh, shut up. I won't have any issues with this not closing. I should be getting the helmet pads tomorrow.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to, be creative.
Yeah, so the moment I popped that the headband off, I was like, well, don't need this anymore. Yep. I just literally yeet it on the floor over there, and it's still over there on the floor.
Not even bothering to pick it up.
No. Because I hate that headband so damn much. But then again, I'm just trashing my own living room. I think I should do something about it. Oh, lovely. Severe thunderstorm warning in my area. So if there's any kind of connection issues, like I lose connection with you guys, probably that'll probably be the explanation for it.
While we're waiting for BC, I guess I'll add in another thing about being creative. It's funny. I actually have a lot of thoughts on this. Normally when I get put on the spot, I can't think of anything. But I guess another thing that also throws something that kind of applies to the entirety of the Transformers franchise is there's also been a lot of creative thinking and people's creativity that has gone into the creation of fan theories, and then some of those fan theories and such have evolved into actual pieces of Transformers lore over the years.
There we go.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So
There's bits and pieces
I
of
know,
lore that
I know,
given
Bricks
from the
just
fans, people
spoke.
get creative with it.
So that's it. We good. We done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was mostly just trying to fill in the empty air. No one was saying
Yeah,
anything.
no, you're fine. Rob, you got anything else you want to say?
Not really.
Bees, Savage.
I pretty much have already said what I wanted to.
Okay. Now, one thing that I'm going to close off the discussion path with, when it comes to freedom of creativity, the criticism that comes with it as well. There are two types of people when it comes to criticism. The people that actually treat it strictly as just that, criticism, and people who get crippled by criticism. We have to understand that as people that are within the realm of creativity, let's face it, every single person in this call is, in some way, shape, or form, a part of the creative side of things. So, with that comes criticism. There have been plenty of times where I have been told by my own family, who have gotten an opportunity to read some of the stuff I did. I was always one of the biggest criticisms that was always lobbied at me was, you have a great vision, you just struggle to stick the landing. I try my best to never falter, but even I slip through the cracks at times, especially when it comes to my writing. But at the end of the day, so long as the vision is there, it'll take me some time, but I can indeed realize it. Hey, JJ.
Yo, JJ, how's it going?
Howdy.
We could probably get a couple more people in here in just a moment because we are going to be. It's basically already almost done. So, yeah, we can now move on to the middle section, which this has basically just been deemed the random discussion segment now. And this is something where I am going to lead it off with a question, and whether you have an answer prepared for this or not genuinely doesn't matter at this point, because we're open to talk about it. So here's my question. What is a fight scene that in your eyes is criminally underrated?
Ooh.
From anything, right? Just generally anything.
From anything. It could be from comic books, movies, TV shows, cartoons, you name it.
I'd say, like, I will always praise. Like, remember, like in the previous episode where Savage was asking everyone questions, like the subject about like
the Savage Challenges episode. I remember.
Yes, that one. Thank you. His question being like who we believe is the strongest Red Ranger, and I still stick by my answer, Jason Lee Scott. Now, the fight scene in question is where he was stuck in the dark dimension with Goldar for God knows how long, fighting him fist to fist, unmorphed, and managing to pull through that.
You know, these, I'm going to be honest with you. If you would have actually led that if you would have actually led your argument with that, you probably would have won. Because even I got to admit, we have yet to see another Red Ranger do that.
Oh, yeah. And just like I said, I like to emphasize the fact that he, Goldar had his morpher. His communicator would not work in the dark dimension. Now, yeah, he was stuck there with Goldar, and even at one point with Tommy, the then evil Green Ranger, and he pulled through, unmorphed. And I've mainly focused on like his strength and character, because I mentioned him saying, "Isn't even the slightest chance of victory like enough to keep fighting?" Yeah, that quote has stuck with me for so long, and I feel like he is the best Red Ranger because of just his leadership skills, his convictions, how good of a hand-to-hand combat fighter he is.
Hand-to-hand combatant.
Yes, thank you. Combatant. Unmorphed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. Jason Lee Scott could throw hands, both morphed and unmorphed.
Exactly.
So you would consider that your answer?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
I'm thinking. There's so many fights to choose. I'm thinking.
Now, again, bear in mind, I specifically stated it's one that you feel is criminally underrated.
Again, there's a lot. There's a fucking lot.
So, who here wants to know mine then? Because I was gonna wait to go last, but if no one else has one, I got one. If you guys want to hear it.
Okay, shoot.
Sure.
So, when I was at work the other day, I was kind of, because at my job, I'm trying not to be like super, super detailed on this, but basically every single day I'm utilizing an actual cart. Well, my phone can actually sit on that cart and I can watch. Hi, JJ.
Hello.
Fucking shit.
You punched Josh or BC.
Welcome to the Scrapyard.
So, anyway, one of the things I have a tendency to do is whenever I have my phone on the cart, I would either play music or I would, whenever I don't have like a ton of things to do, I utilize my phone to kill some time so I'm not bored out of my mind. And I'll look up like specific scenes from movies. One of the things that piqued my interest, because I've only seen the movie once in my lifetime. I've never seen it any other time, so my memory of it was already very vague. The movie, like one of the videos that popped up was Peter Jackson King Kong versus V-Rex fight scene. I was curious because I didn't remember how this went. So I clicked on it and I watched it. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot how badass that whole fight scene actually was. Like, you're watching a 25-foot silverback gorilla throw hands with 3 T-Rex looking things. It is such a simplistic thing, I will admit that. But it don't change the fact that it's fucking awesome to watch this gorilla whoop their ass. So yeah, that's why I felt that's what really inspired me to kind of bring this up as the middle section. Because again, that is a fight scene that I feel is criminally underrated, that nowhere near as many people actually talk about it to this day. It's brilliant to see how smart this version of King Kong actually was.
For me, it's mostly that there's fight scenes that I really love in certain shows, but it's mostly because the shows, I think, get severely underrated. And so a lot of people don't get to enjoy some of these fight scenes because some of these fight scenes are also consistently throughout the show. The 2 shows in question that I had in mind, one is Beast Wars, because there's a lot of great action sequences in Beast Wars, and a lot of people refuse to watch Beast Wars because of the bad animation. or people just don't want to watch it. But like, I have watched Beast Wars 5 times over and still genuinely enjoy everything about it. And then the other show is the Spawn animated series from a while ago. That show has great sequences, great animation, fight sequences are amazing, but it is a severely underrated show because I feel like no one talks about it because it came out during a time where there wasn't really a format yet because Adult Swim and a lot of adult cartoons kind of went under the radar for a lot of people.
That's a show that people have recommended to me, the Spawn series. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Keith David voiced Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he voiced him in the Mortal Kombat video game.
Nice.
There we go. All right, much better.
But yeah, that's my because it's not necessarily fight scenes in specific. It's mostly because the entire show kind of gets roped into that question.
You know what? I got one.
All right, go ahead.
The initial fight scene that brought us into this one, I feel like it does not get mentioned at fucking all anymore because it's been so long since it's been out and it's been seen. The Mortal Kombat movie, new one. The fight scene between Scorpion and fucking Sub-Zero.
Dude, that fucking fight was sick.
I don't see anyone mentioning it at all. Like,
Then let me say something about that real quick. We all know Scorpion's iconic line of "Get over here." We all know it. We've all played Mortal Kombat in some way, shape, or form, or we've at least heard of it. We know the iconic "Get over here." I love how they actually figured out a way to not only allow him to utilize his catchphrase, but put it in a scenario where it would 100% make sense for anybody in that scenario to say that before they yank. Like, just the way they set that up was just perfect.
plus, it's also very, very well amazing the fact that the entire time for Scorpion, he did not really speak one lick of English up until then.
Get over here!
Like, not once did he speak English up until that moment. He's like, get over here! Ah! So it's the fact that even though I would imagine they got a pure Japanese actor to play as Scorpion, and they got him to actually say that perfectly, golden.
Pure gold.
Fucking golden.
That whole movie is underrated. It's fucking awesome. Still don't care for that fucking main character, dude. He can get the fuck out of here. But everyone else,
Turn off my camera for just one moment. Not a bit. Just shooting shirts.
hey Rob,
What do I do now?
you got an underrated fight scene?
I got one. It's a Mortal Kombat fight scene from the first movie.
Oh,
Interesting.
The Liu Kang versus Sub-Zero fight scene.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I have no opinion on that because I've not seen it.
It depends if you really care enough or not, honestly.
I've never played the games, so I don't know. I don't feel much motivation to watch it.
Do you love blood? Do you like sexless violence and murder?
As a kid, it probably would have bothered me, but for me, it's something. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I can watch it and be like, "Holy shit!"
But the reason why I'm also switching shirts is because he's got a hole.
It's a hole.
it's a whole.
What?
There's a hole.
It's a huge hole for my gut, dude. Like, Jesus.
A whole lot of nothing.
No, holy shit! Someone punched you in the gut. Your gut didn't take any damage, but the shirt did.
Well, you know what? I can also just do this now. Hey, Suko, come here.
You could always wear that shirt if you could always wear that shirt whenever you're trying to be, if you're ever trying to be religious in any way, because it's holy.
Holy fuck, was that terrible? Anyway.
Not as terrible as paper.
Rob, come here.
Who am I getting hit at?
Hey, Savage.
What did I do? Hey! What?
What's going on up there?
What the heck?
All I'll say is, Rob got Suko'd.
Ooh, Tiger Hawk. That's your figure appreciation?
Yeah, I just got him.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of figured since he wasn't already out of the box, I figured that would have been destroyed by now.
Nice. I love that Tiger Hawk figure.
Can't wait to take him out of the box, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait, man.
I got him before you, JJ.
Oh,
So what's another underrated fight scene? I'll leave this one up to you guys if you want to call it I'm not sure if you would actually call this a quote unquote underrated fight, but kind of sticking with my usual stick, I guess. I don't know. Kong Skull Island. If you're thinking we're going to say the final fight, you'd be wrong. I'm talking the moment where he was going toe to toe against the U.S. military right at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with you on that one.
Like, then honestly, that's about as far as I'll go with it. Like, I'm just going to leave it at that.
You know, I got one joke about that entire scene, or for that initial start of that entire scene. They're all flying helicopters, right? The main pilots.
Mm-hmm.
You treat them like cars. You keep your eyes forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did no one say a goddamn thing up until then?
Oh my god.
See? This movie said number one.
Movie logic. Movie's got a movie.
Maybe it was
Rise of the Beast Cop.
A bit of a stretch, but maybe it was Skyrim logic. Kong was crouching.
Did they have a buck over their head? What?
He was crouching. Sneak 100.
Uh-oh.
BC, I'll handle this.
Fuck my balls!
Oh. So he got Rob's balls and then removed himself. Hang on, hold on. Give me a second. All right, hold on. And
Hey, he's back.
put the gun away.
What the hell happened? What the hell happened, Bees? You snapped yourself off.
JJ, you're grounded from that. You're grounded. No, take it off. Take it. No.
Take it off.
No.
Take it off.
Take the fuck out.
I didn't have to bring this up
Give me
again, but
It's not at full power if it's missing one stone.
You put yours away too.
Yes.
him first.
Anyway, let's save this for the after. Let's save this for the after party.
Yeah, save this bit for the after party, please. Pretty, please.
Yeah, let's save it for the after party.
Okay.
But yeah,
Boy, it's just a glove.
the major reason why I immediately retracted my going into further detail on my other pick, I completely blanked on the fact that B still has not seen Kong Skull Island.
All that finished.
Okay, did you at least see that the part where he goes up against the U.S. military?
What part of the movie was that? I want to say I left off the climax.
You left off at the climax?
Climax of
Then
the
you-
film.
Then you saw it. It's like in the very beginning.
Yeah,
I've seen the beginning and the middle.
Then
Basically.
you know what I was talking about, because it's the part the fight scene literally opens with Kong throwing a tree right at one of the helicopters.
I vaguely remember that.
Then
Yes,
yeah,
that
you
was
do
in the
know what I'm
trailer,
talking
too.
about. So then yes, it's actually safe for me to go into further detail, because there's a lot with this fight scene that you really don't think about until you've seen the movie a few times. Because there's a very specific way one of the sequences is shot. And it's literally like one of the things that we really don't fully appreciate with this fight scene. We see Kong go into a full-blown sprint. And when I gotta tip my hat to the animators for this, because he legit looked real. I realize CG is meant to trick your eye to make you think it's real, but the way they shot that one specifically and how much work and effort went into his model, I was legit convinced he was a giant fucking monkey. And just the way he was going into that full-blown sprint, it was so fluidly animated. Just again, it's so underrated, and we watch him grabbing onto helicopters, throwing them around, stepping on motherfuckers. He even eats one of the guys. But the part that I want to bring up, and it's so funny because this actually happens to bring in Samuel L. Jackson. JJ? You good?
Yeah.
You just listening?
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. So basically with so when I distinctly, it's the part where he kind of does the crunching and twisting of one of them with his bare hands, and he slams down. There's one shot where it's directly behind Samuel L. Jackson, and he's literally just glaring up at Kong. And then it does another shot where it swaps, where they're literally showing what's happening in this moment from both perspectives. What, it's an unwritten story here where it's a human man looking at this giant fucking monkey who just tore apart his entire fleet, and there's barely any survivors, and he's angry, and therefore he looks at Kong as you are my mortal enemy. But then when you see it from Kong's perspective, Kong's looking at him like, you came to my home, started blowing up fucking charges, letting loose all these different fucking creatures that I've been having to work keeping under fucking ground, and then you got the fucking nerve to start shooting at me? You're lucky I'm not smashing your bitch ass right now. Like, I'm obviously heavily exaggerating, but the whole point of this is they're telling the story entirely through the perspective of both of these characters. It's just,
and they're also telling it through visuals.
Exactly. It was so intelligently chosen on how they angled those shots to convey what was going on in this moment. Not a word was fucking said, but it was like you get the same exact vibe no matter what. Sorry. So it's getting a little dry. Hang on.
Kind of similar to your comments, where it's like it's a fight scene that's like not necessarily underrated, but it's still not talked about enough.
Yeah.
I think that's the same thing with I think that's the same thing with Earthspark, Transformers Earthspark. The entire sequence between Optimus, Megatron, Skywarp, and Sunstorm is like some of the best combat ever seen in Transformers.
Oh my god, that's a good point.
I feel like everyone who talks about Earthspark is never talking about those fight scenes. Everyone's always talking about everything else. And yeah, I think the fight scenes are the best part of the entire show.
Yeah, Savage?
Don't know what you're talking about now, so...
Okay, so then unfortunately we really can't go into full-blown detail.
You can find the clip on YouTube, by the way, if you're that curious.
All I will say is the fight scene he is talking about. That one had some genuinely genius choices in camera angles as well.
Like you see Megatron sprinting and like what?
So yeah, is there any more that we want to bring up?
I love to bring up a fight scene that is still a great fight scene up to this day.
Is it underrated though?
Yes, it's underrated. It's one of the best fight scenes I have ever seen in my life. And it's the forest battle scene from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, JJ, because to this day, I still love that fucking fight scene. Like, you got to bear in mind, I am the biggest Revenge of the Fallen movie hater here. I fucking hate that movie. That is the one good thing that actually came out of that movie. That fight scene is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, which is why I said it's one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen. So
yeah, but what I'm saying, like I'm not disagreeing with you on that. What I'm saying is that that's a fight scene that's not underrated. If anything, that's the one part of that movie people still talk about. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
That's true.
Here, I can make a better example because I got another example in mind, unless someone else wants to say theirs first. Okay, if anyone, I'm sure we've all seen it by now because it was first released in 2008. So if you haven't seen it by now, your fault. The Incredible Hulk final fight between the Hulk and Abomination. Round 2.
Get the fuck out of my head. Get the fuck out.
Because because let's be honest, the most amazing thing about that entire scene was that
he just caught an imaginary bottle and he just threw it away.
No. Can we talk about something real quick?
What?
This is the third time Savage and I were literally on the same fucking wavelength with something. Like I was literally sitting there like, if nobody else is gonna bring anything else up, I'm gonna bring up the Hulk versus Abomination round 2. And this motherfucker just said it.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, that is pretty underrated. People, partly because like people don't seem to remember that movie all that much, and it's I guess it wasn't quite as popular as Iron Man or any of the other additions to the MCU.
Everybody claims that movie is as bad as the movies that we get now.
Bullshit.
Yeah, no. If you were to actually sit down and watch The Incredible Hulk, like the actual MCU one, that's a fucking awesome movie. And like every time you see the Hulk in that movie, he's an unstoppable fucking force. You can't do anything to him. And
in that final fight, we all know the scene. It's fucking amazing. Just fuck my lighting. Okay. Try and say something here. Interrupt me. Hey, we're taking turns, aren't we? Fuck you. You know what? Hold on. Hey, Suko, fire on you.
Also, there's one thing I'd like to say about the fight between Abomination and the Incredible Hulk Round 2 is that, like, before, Blonsky was just a dude souped up on a low dose of a prototype recreation of the Super Soldier Serum. So while he was able to evade the Hulk, he had decided he thought he had the balls to take him on one by one. He got Spartan kicked into a tree.
That shit was funny as hell.
So,
no.
So then, now that he's like a big fucking hulking, no pun intended, ugly looking mofo, he can use, in addition to his brute strength, use his military fighting skills against the Hulk. And he was able to, like...
He was handing him his ass for a while, not gonna lie.
Exactly. And the only reason why that the Hulk was able to get the upper hand on him is because it's like Kevin Feige seems to have forgotten this about the Hulk. The angrier he gets, the
stronger he becomes.
And like whenever he sees Betty about to like get when the helicopter is about to go kaboom, you can see his eyes glowing green. His eyes glow green. And then he managed to get Abomination off him, and then you did that and created a vacuum to put the flames out.
The gamma clap.
That's actually something you can do in real life, although not on a much smaller scale. Put out if you. One thing I like to do is like whenever someone lights a candle for my birthday, blow out the candles. Instead of just going, I go right over it and it puts the flame out. So I'm like, hey, I think Hulk was onto something here. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, like that's like that is. I agree. That is very underrated because that's something that's like people seem to forget about what the Hulk can do.
Also, Mr. Bees. He did not Spartan kick him into a tree. He Paul Walkered him into the tree.
What?
Rob, get over here.
He what him?
That's a topic I gotta talk to you about off air because that's what I should repeat on air.
What did I just miss?
About how Paul Walker happened.
Oh,
yeah, that's a topic off screen.
Yeah, there's a reason why he got Suko'd in that moment.
My favorite meme about the MCU is when people look back at like the movies they considered to be bad, like Captain Marvel, Thor: The Dark World, and Hulk. And
we owe all those movies an apology. And
then everyone. And my favorite meme is the "Perhaps I judged you too harshly."
Yeah.
They made a similar meme about Scrappy Doo, like how he was like in the original cartoons versus Velma season 2, which we're not going to talk about that.
We're moving on now because we're now reaching the more exciting part. At least for me.
You said scrappy, but instead we're feeling scrappy. So let's begin with the scrap battle.
The next scrap battle.
That's a good transition.
Woo! All right,
It was a bit of a scrappy transition.
So, unfortunately, last week since we were still getting used to how scrap battle was going to go, we really didn't have a plan as far as who was going to go after that battle. I can promise you right now, as soon as we're done with the scrap battle, we're going to announce who's fighting next week. Like, it's planned. It's locked in. We already got it. It's all good. So, this week, the combatants are Age of Extinction / The Last Night Form Optimus Prime versus Optimus Prime from Beast Hunters. Now, for this battle, once again, we're sticking with the rules of strictly on-screen feats. We are not doing anything from comic books or anything else. We are strictly sticking with what we see them do on screen. The Howsoever, there is one major caveat because I did go digging and doing a little bit of research behind the scenes. There is a significant size difference between both of these primes. So for the sake of making this a little bit more of an even fight, we're tying them out in overall size. So with that said, we're going to start with TLK Prime, and we're going to start this analysis process with, we'll go with battle intelligence. What is the battle IQ for AoE / The Last Knight Prime?
So in this question, for this category, are we going to be determining how his mindset was during both movies, or are we just combining them both? Because let's be honest, his mindset was a little different between those two movies.
Yeah.
We're sticking more with how he was in Age of Extinction and less with how he was in The Last Knight.
Okay, so mainly AoE Prime. Let's just go with that. AoE entirely.
Plus, in Age of Extinction, he had more screen time in that film.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Age of Extinction, Optimus Prime, battle IQ. I'm going to be real. I'm giving this one to Beast Hunters Prime. Just flat out, I'm giving it to Beast Hunters Prime because I don't know about you guys, but when I went back and I rewatched Age of Extinction, Prime could have easily torn Lockdown in half in that entire fight, in that entire final fight. Like, he could have done it easily. Explain to me how a big-ass semi-truck is getting their ass beat by a Lamborghini.
Exactly.
It's like, that don't make no goddamn sense to me.
I could say the same thing about Generation 1 with the gun and truck.
And while fair, that was the 80s. That was a little bit more acceptable because it's supposed to be ridiculous. In this particular instance, I'm sorry, but dude, Prime had not only had a height advantage, but he had a mass advantage as well. I don't see why he was not able to just throw Lockdown around like a rag doll. I just don't see it. So when it comes to overall battle IQ, I'm sorry, I'm giving that to Beast Hunters Prime just right out the gate. AoE Prime simply just he can barely fucking fight.
Yeah, and in my opinion, he was just basically fighting on pure emotion, not really fucking straight planning things.
Yeah,
So whereas with Beast Hunters Prime, every time we see him on screen, you can literally see how he's planning his every move even before he throws a punch.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, in Age of Extinction, we see him lash out a little bit when he hears about, Ratchet being killed.
Exactly. Just like what Rob just said, he's reacting so much more on strictly emotion to whereas, again, in contrast, Beast Hunters Prime, he doesn't think like that. He doesn't fight like that. He's very careful with his every single move. So therefore, when it comes to battle IQ, I'm giving it to Beast Hunters Prime.
And one thing I've noticed is that their fighting styles seem to be a bit different. Like there definitely seems to be some martial arts involved with Beast Hunters Prime. Even when he was the smaller in frame, he was definitely quite agile. And it's been a while since I've watched Prime, but I'm going to assume that even in his bigger, in his Beast Hunters form, he's probably still even if he wasn't as agile, he's still a formidable hand-to-hand combatant.
Exactly.
Whereas Knight Optimus Prime, he's even before he took on his Knight form, he like his fighting style is more like prison yard scraps or something, you know. I mean, yeah, he seemed pretty proficient with melee weapons like face hooks and arm blades and all that, and eventually his Excalibur looking weapon thing, aka Facey, and like that's what I.
What?
His sword is called Facey because he uses it to cleave faces off. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, they're both proficient. They both seem proficient with like short range, melee weapons, or whatever. But Beast Hunter's Prime, yeah, he's definitely a more proficient fighter. And I feel like Optimus in the last, or even the Bayformers continuity in general, seems to like. Well, like it seems like he and Megatron are evenly matched, but eventually Prime is just like, oh shit, I'm losing. I need to find a last ditch effort to get the upper hand. You know what I mean?
His entire character, I guess, mental, fighting mentality was based around Liam Neeson.
You took my daughter.
Like, and I definitely agree. He has the height and possibly strength advantage over Lockdown. And he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah. Again, I'm sorry. There is no way in hell that there was a logical reason as to why Lockdown was handing him his ass. Lockdown should have went down way quicker than he actually did. You could tell the writers of the film realized that this was not a fucking fair fight. So they fucking nerfed Prime and buffed Lockdown.
They believed the enemy had it on lockdown.
So I've watched Age of Extinction like many times already, and I saw the final fight between Prime and Lockdown. And the main reason why Lockdown was able to get the upper hand over Prime was that Prime, he reacted to I'm so sorry, my throat. He reacted to Kate Yeager being threatened by Harold Attinger, and he was getting distracted at the moment.
Okay. So while that's a fair point, you got to bear in mind, Kay didn't show up until halfway through their fight. So at that point, how do you explain the rest of that? Like,
I like to toss in a little bit of credibility and doability of the mentality in both combatants. The one key factor that both these combatants have, other than the fact of they're both both intelligent minds, the one key common factor that they both seem to share, though, is the fact of this. They've both gotten their bodies just changed recently.
Yeah.
So in the mentality of, oh, yes, he's got this strategic sound mind, but not a strategic sound body. And also, may I also point out to the crowd that, remember, that sword didn't come with him. He picked that up just the other day. He didn't train with that. He's just learning how to swing that motherfucker. So while he is intelligent, while I'm not doubting the fact that he's a military mind, he probably does know how to use it. I want to say with a bit of doubt and unbiasedness, because trust me, I want to say fuck that Prime, because to hell with him, I hate the design so badly. I want to say it's because of the fact that for AoE Prime, I want to believe that he's still adjusting to his new form body, because we already saw in the last 3 films that he was way already adjusted to that truck form of his. He was going places everywhere, left and right, Dark of the Moon, yanking out fucking Shockwave's eyes, or eye, my bad. Fucking Revenge of the Fallen, he ripped off Fallen's face. Megatron fucking square him down with the city. I want to say it's because he has yet to get adjusted to a new frame. But at the same time, that argument is also defeated because is the same thing is pointed out with Night or Beast Hunter Prime. He literally just got that changed within an hour at
And
most.
within seconds, he was handing Megatron his ass. Like, I'm sorry, the difference is night and day here. So we will cap off battle intelligence there, and let's move into armaments, weaponry. So, Night Prime has the rifle and the sword, and
the shield?
And the shield that shoots, you know.
and the shield that shoots. Yeah, fair. And he has them.
He got an arm blade too.
He got some kills with the sword, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we look over to Beast Hunter's Prime. He's got dual hand blasters. He's got missiles. He's got a minigun. He's got the Star Saber. He's got the wing pack that allows him to utilize the missile launch. Oh my fucking god, this is going to be a fair fight.
He has so many that version of Prime has so many firearms that he's barely ever used the Star Saber himself.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if we were to actually sit down and really give out the weapons between the two characters, we do at least once see Prime use the Star Saber in his Beast Hunter's body. We do see it at least once, so in this particular instance, it does count.
He also used one other thing as a weapon. Megatron into that tower. Wow!
Wait, did we really?
Fair.
I'm trying to remember here. I'm trying to remember.
He's also used his own truck mode.
When did Prime use the Star Saber? No, he didn't even use the Star Saber in episode 13 at all. Because Bumblebee was actually holding the Star Saber and giving it to Prime, but then Bumblebee got killed.
Didn't he? Yeah, but didn't he use it in Predacons Rising?
Yes, but only to Knight Bumblebee.
So then that technically still confirms he has it.
Yeah.
He had it, but he never used it to fight anyone.
But he still has it as a weapon at his disposal.
So therefore, in this particular instance, it still counts. The only way we would have to omit it is if it's never in his possession the entire time.
Plus, his toys were always packaged with it too.
True.
So now that we got that out of the way, when it comes to weapons, once again, I'm sorry, but it's by a landslide. We're going with Beast Hunter has it. He's much more heavily armed.
He has a lot more range, where Night Prime has a lot more close combat.
And that's exactly where I was going to go with the next bit. Overall durability, this particular instance.
It's Night Prime, isn't it?
No. When it comes to overall durability, I'm actually going to go ahead and call it a tie.
Interesting. Interesting. I mean, both Night Prime and Beast Hunter's Prime, they have a good amount of durability, because when we saw, there was one moment where Beast Hunter's Prime's chest was like completely like cracked.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at.
He was still living. He was still strong. He was still surviving. And then we see Night Prime getting stabbed by Lockdown in the chest, and where his spark should be, and he's still alive.
And he survived. Yeah,
he survived.
Also, earlier in that film, he lost to Lockdown when he was in the middle of a fight with Galvatron, because Lockdown gave one shot through his chest.
True.
And he's still living. He's still living. He still survived.
Oh, Beans, were you about to say something? I thought I saw your hand go up for a second.
Nah.
Oh, okay. So again, in this particular instance, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna tie them out in regards to overall durability, because Both of them could take an ass whooping.
Yep.
But the real question is, which one can actually deal an ass whooping? And in this particular instance, we're going into overall physical strength. And y'all, Michael Bay fucked this design over so hard because once again, I gotta give it to Beast Hunters.
Yeah.
We see Beast Hunters not only uppercut Megs into the air and then punch him right into his throne, but when Megatron tried to stop him mid-air, he grabs him by the nose cone
and swings him.
And throws his ass.
I was like, whoa.
Name me one incredible feat of physical strength from the Night Form Prime. Yes.
He punched Grimlock.
He did knock over Grimlock.
Punched Grimlock, he backhanded Grimlock.
Okay, fair. That's fine and dandy. Could he continue that same energy? Is the real question. No, the fuck he can't. No, the fuck he can't.
I mean, since we're still kind of technicality on connecting it because it's the same thing, he did Spartan kick Megatron through a wall.
The judo kick, yeah.
Judo, Spartan, whatever. Point is, kick, wall, gone.
Yeah. Then while that's a fair point, when you look at the enemies that Beast Hunters Prime was going up against, because again, you got to bear in mind, he shoulder checked Predaking. Look at how much larger Predaking was in comparison.
Oh yeah.
Also,
and he just shoulder checked his ass through a fucking pillar.
What was that?
Something else I just realized as we were talking about this. I think the other reason why Last Night Prime had a disadvantage was because, like with Grimlock, he's able to see him coming because he's such a large target, where Lockdown, it's a lot harder to fight him because since he's a lot smaller, he's a lot more nimble and is able to basically outmaneuver Prime.
Fair.
And, again, while fair, I'm sorry.
But of course,
Prime is significantly bigger. If he were to actually get his hands on him, which, let's face it, there have been plenty of times where he got his fucking hands on him. That should have been it right there. You can't tell me that was a fair fight. It simply wasn't, and they fucking knew that. That's why Lockdown was whipping his ass, because they knew damn well in a realistic fucking scenario, Prime would have tore him in half. Moving on, so I don't lose where I was going with this. So we see Beast Hunters Prime, and again, comparing the two different beasts that the two of them went up against. Yes, Night Form Prime was able to put hands on Grimlock. But the big thing that everybody loves to claim is a great strength feat was him smacking Grimlock as he was running. If you were to actually sit down and stop to think about that, that was him only moving Grimlock's forward momentum a different direction. That wasn't him utilizing strength at all. In Beast Hunter's case, he was shoulder checking Predaking. That's physical force slamming into Predaking. What's going to, in this particular instance, what's going to matter more?
Probably which toy sells a lot quicker off the shelves.
Listen, motherfucker. I'm starting to know wait, hold on. I'm starting to know the pattern here. Turns the camera on, goes to say something, knowing he's going to test me, and then right when I go to look at him, see?
You cheeky son of a bitch.
Anyway, so in this particular instance, was it cool to see Prime do that with Grimlock? Yes, obviously. I more than understand it's all for spectacle, but if we're actually going to sit down and analyze it from a physical strength standpoint, that is not a strength feat for Prime. For Nightform Prime. If anything, that is just a case of he knew in this moment change his direction. Because in an actual physical altercation, he could not hold a candle to Grimlock. Beast Hunter's Prime not only fucking shoulder checked Predicate, but he was able to hit him with enough force to send him through a pillar and put him on his ass. Physical strength, Beast Hunters.
I don't think Beast or last night's not really getting anything, is he?
Yeah, but again, you got to bear in mind we tied him out with Beast Hunters on durability. However, things might actually change once we get to the speed feat. And when it comes to overall, like, actual speed, between the two, who is actually faster?
Beast Hunter's Prime.
Actually, in this instance, I'm going with AoE.
Why?
If we're talking overall top speed, technically it is Beast Hunter's Prime because you have to count in the jetpack, and when he is just running on his own, he builds up momentum. But because Night Prime doesn't have a lot of that equipment and such, he's able to build up momentum a lot quicker, and he's able to run. Like, remember the part in the movie when Lockdown is in his ship and he's dropping the boats and everything on everyone, and he was able to
Bricks knows exactly where I'm going with this.
Out of there before you got hit by a big boat.
Bricks sees exactly where I'm going with this. When it comes to the speed feat, like I said, I would give that strictly to AoE. But another thing that I'm saying, in comparison, yes, Beast Hunters has been proving that he can deal some fucking punishment. But we can also see in his movements, his new body has actually made him slower. So whereas the Night Prime, we see he can fucking move.
Plus, I guess to point out the jet propulsion that Night Prime does have, in comparison of distance of time and point A to point B, I guess Night Prime would be a lot faster, considering of the fact of one thing. He traveled from Earth to Cybertron back, which takes a lot of speed just to go through. So, and the fact that Megatron has done it as well in his Revenge of the Fallen tank flying motherfucker form.
Well, in that instance, he was on one of Saturn's moons.
I know, but it's still the fact of speed that Megatron was able to get from the ocean all the way to one of the moons that quickly. It's the same basis comparison. So
it was like he did it like he was just going down the street.
Pretty much, yeah.
Exactly. So call it merciful if you want, but when it comes to the speed feat, I'm giving it to AoE. But I have a sinking suspicion that's not going to last long. Yeah.
By the way,
hey, Night Prime, you won one finally. By the way, Night Prime won, or not Night Prime. Beast Hunter Prime won.
Now we go into the final part of the scrap battle. The overall vote, who would actually win, and the actual debate, keeping all the information in mind. Who would win? So I feel the answer is pretty clear across the board, but I want to hear everyone else's argument. So JJ, who do you feel is actually going to win this?
It's a good question. It's very hard because Optimus Prime is my man. He's my favorite character of all time.
Then what do you said about Optimus Prime wins? Either way.
Considering that what we have said, the strength feat, the speed feat, physical strength, battle IQ, I think overall, like I have seen these two fight, in their respective fight scenes, and yes, I think the clear winner, has to be Beast Hunters Prime.
Okay.
Okay, Bricks,
Beast Hunters Prime.
you're not even going to go into a full-blown detailed explanation. You're just saying it straight up.
We kind of already went over all my reasoning and all my explanation.
Okay, what I'm saying for this is go through the reasoning behind why you are straight up stating either it's a landslide victory to Beast Hunters, or if you genuinely believe, actually, I think AoE would take it.
Well, pretty much Beast Hunters, I feel like he was able to adapt to his own body really quickly, where Age of Extinction Prime, if we're bringing in, him changing into his body not that long ago, he still was kind of getting used to everything. And also, again, he was getting used to his brand new sword and his, all of his brand new like weaponry and such. But Beast Hunters Prime, he's able to like just pick it up and just picked up where he left off. And just overall, the fact that he fought Predaking what felt like a longer fight than the fight with Grimlock for Age of Extinction, just the fact he's able to keep going in that fight for so long before Predaking KO'd him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if it was the two primes going head to head, he would be able to take him out, because again, even with close combat in mind, we saw how he was with Megatron in the season finale of the actual season finale of Transformers. When he was Megatron, he was throwing real
haymakers.
Haymaker punches at Megatron. So imagine that on Prime, on the other Prime.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty devastating beatdown.
Yeah.
All right, so Bricks and JJ both say Beast Hunters landslide. Bees, where are you standing?
Well, just letting you guys know, I have to get going a little early.
Oh, okay.
Hey there.
I've got some plans going on tonight, so just letting you know.
Okay.
Here.
See you guys next week.
All right. See you next week.
Peace out.
You better show up. Anyway.
Anyway, I choose Beast Hunters Prime because I feel like I said, because I feel like Age of Extinction Night Mode Optimus Prime is his fighting skills seem more like basically he's just stuck in a pit with Decepticons, and he had to learn how to fight. Basically, if you're in prison, you have to learn how to defend yourself. Basically, it's just like I said, he's fighting in a schoolyard brawl or something. Whereas, Beast Hunters Prime, back when he was Orion Pax and back when he had his regular form, yeah, you could tell he had some training. You could tell he had some actual training. So he's a good hand-to-hand combatant, and he's not just there's isn't exactly any blind rage that you see in some of AoE Prime's fighting style. And yeah, just like the fight training he's had, excuse me, his overall armament. What? I'm eating butter toffee peanuts. I'm gonna burp.
Since was that? You know what? Never mind. Let's just continue on. Continue on. Continue on.
Continue.
Anyway, so yeah, given that and his overall firepower, he's basically armed to the teeth. And like if you give him the Star Saber, like his opponent's fucked. Any of his opponents that he faces off like against with the Star Saber, they're fucked. So, like, is that a factor we're considering? Like him having the Star Saber and actually using it to its full potential?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, overall firepower, including having the Star Saber, yeah, no contest here. He Beast Hunter's Prime.
All right, fucking Rob, you're up.
Beast Hunter's Prime is going to make Night Mode Prime a squire bitch.
You know what? I'm not even going to allow him to elaborate now because I want his to just end right there. That's it. That's all he needs to say. That's it.
So then I guess that means my turn?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. This was... one could say this would be an easy choice for me, considering the fact, like what I said earlier, I hate the AoE design entirely. I don't know why anyone thought, oh, let's turn the leader of the Alba into a knight. For this entire fight, I was trying to be unbiased.
Which you did succeed.
I was trying to not be like, oh, totally Beast Hunter Prime's all the way. I tried to show fairness. I tried to show some form of confidence and actually try to give it a level of sense for him. You're incorrect. He wouldn't make him into a squire. He'd make him into a peasant bitch.
So that's it. You're done.
Fair enough.
Hey, we die for knocking. Wait a minute, what the fuck? No. Fuck him. Die. Take your face off like you did with the fallen and die.
So then, yeah, my turn. I am going with the resounding, there is no fucking contest. Beast Hunter's Prime is ending this fight before this fight even fucking begins. He is going to, plain as day, see he holds the advantage in literally every other category. Because unlike AoE Prime, the moment Beast Hunters gets his hands on him, he's not gonna fucking stop. He's gonna beat him into submission. And if he don't submit, he will rip him in half.
Yep.
So,
like jazz.
God damn.
So, scrap battle has been decided. The winner is Beast Hunters Prime.
The next fight, however,
The next fight, we're going to be looking at things from a bit of the opposite end. It is a Megatron themed fight, but the Megatron's fighting. It will be Transformers Prime Megatron versus Transformers Animated Megatron.
Okay. Okay.
So, two of the most popular renditions of Megatron to ever exist is going to go toe-to-toe in Scrap Battle next week. Tune in.
Nice.
So with that said, guys, that's it. This Scrap Battle episode has come to a close. So now, the final segment, the after party.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Now, if you guys will excuse me, I actually need to be right back.
All right. So one thing I also wanted to point out, because when we were talking about the whole Hulk thing earlier, honestly, I prefer Edward Norton over Mark Ruffalo, honestly.
I kind of wish I was able to see more of Edward Norton's Bruce Banner / Hulk. It's a shame that he ended up having to get recasted because I think he really fit the role very well. Mark Ruffalo, while different, he still got the job done.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo still got the job done as the Incredible Hulk when he wasn't Professor Hulk. But then when Hulk became Professor Hulk, you can already tell that Hulk got weaker because you don't see Hulk fight a lot in the current MCU
Or at all.
or at all. he is just basically now scientist Hulk, where he doesn't really fight at all, and he's just Mr. Hulk he's just a Hulk who is just, I'm just gonna sit here in my lab. You guys can do the fighting, man. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, and then on that note, I am pissed off at the fact that like they were gonna have the whole Professor Hulk thing happen on screen in Infinity War, but they decided, nah, deleted scene. Like literally, we were gonna see Bruce and Hulk work shit out, and they become one. And that, in fact, like there were some like toys to promote the movie where Hulk busts out of the Hulkbuster armor. That's where the deleted scene came from. But they decided at the last minute.
They should have kept that. Because I love the Hulk. I absolutely love the Hulk. He's one of my favorite superheroes of all time. I love the Hulk. He's just a bulky bruiser, of a beast, and he's just a big gigantic green human.
The not so jolly green giant.
Yeah. They should have kept the whole working things out in Infinity War and have the two fused together with no science experiment, no sciencing, no lab required. Just have them fused together as one whole being, as
Exactly.
one smart Hulk. They should have kept that. They should have kept that.
Exactly.
Instead, we just suddenly jumped to Professor Hulk in Avengers Endgame, and I'm like,
yep. And then
They should have. I feel like they should have given us Grey Hulk. Honestly.
yeah, like it's funny because because in the Incredible Hulk, his skin was like somewhere between green and gray. If you look at it, like a grayish green, kind of like they're like referencing both versions of the Hulk.
although in Thor Ragnarok he was like pure green.
Yeah, like neon green. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's quite a change. And also, I just want to talk about the 2000. What was it? 2000. It came out in 2003. Yeah, the 2003 Hulk movie with Eric Bana. I don't understand why people hate that movie so much. I mean, people are like, the CGI is so bad. I rewatched that movie a couple of years ago, and I'm just like, how is this bad? I mean, if you want to talk about bad, look at Scooby-Doo, the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. Like, I love those movies to death. I don't understand why they did so badly at the box office and among critics, but the CG effects for that did not age well at all.
Nope.
Then look at the CG effects. Then look at the CG effects for Hulk in 2003's Hulk.
Oh.
Like, they put so much work and effort into the detail of his skin texture, and the look of his skin, his hair, like everything about him looked so good. It still looks good. I still think it could measure up to the modern day Hulk, CG effects. I mean, it's not like it won't be. It's not like it won't be like a perfect match in terms of scale and perfection, but it's still pretty close. And yet people say, ew, it's so bad. And then another thing they say is that like it's so dark and depressing. I'm just like, dude, this is the Hulk we're talking about. It's supposed to be dark and depressing because like the Hulk, like a lot of his origins were rooted in Bruce Banner's childhood trauma. So of course it's going to be dark and depressing. It's about like just repressed memories and just repressed memories from abuse and how that tied into the creation of the Hulk. like, it's not as bad as people say it is or claim. People just want to complain about something because they need something to complain about, you know? Where did BC say he was going? Where did BC say he went?
I'm going to guess bathroom because I don't know. Plus, like, the stories were a lot better back then, to be fair. Like, yeah, you can complain about the confusion that is the 03's, like, plot line, but at least then you could understand where they were going. Now it's just like, oh, Hulk, he now has a cousin, and yeah, she's alright, I guess. Yeah,
she's better than him. Just pander.
Yeah, she's better than him. She works a lot. You know, she's a lawyer.
Welcome to the Pandaverse, everybody.
That's what it kind of really seems like. They just like, whatever. He's old. Whatever. Who cares? And then again, it's kind of the theme of what they're doing nowadays with a lot of these hero films, anyway.
You know, then in the She-Hulk series, that we see one moment where Hulk was going against Abomination. Hulk is tiny.
Yeah, like, did he shrink or did Abomination grow larger? Because I know in the Incredible Hulk, he was a head taller than him, but now he's like a whole body taller.
I think when they became one, I'm going to sadly guess that the Hulk shrank to match a more human-like size.
That's my theory too.
Because let's be honest.
Here's my my disappointment with Abomination. I'm sorry, because
the fact that he's an abomination.
No, but here's my disappointment. Okay. Abomination in the Incredible Hulk film in 2008. You hear his voice like being so deep and monstrosity type of voice, like very Hulk-ish voice, and that's the voice.
Over time, he just kind of turned into a fucking joke.
Yeah. And then you see Abomination again in Shang-Chi. Okay, he was roaring. Okay, good enough. Good for me. But then in She-Hulk, when you hear him speak, I'm like,
I guess editing his voice wasn't in the budget.
He sounds like, why you sound British, man? What are you doing? Why you change your voice? He's like, as you can see, I'm in full control. And I'm like, what?
And like I said, I guess maybe it wasn't in the budget to edit his voice.
Shit, you can do that for
What
free.
are the writers doing? What are the writers doing? Is killing my brain, man. And I'm like,
I'm gonna say something, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for it.
You liked it?
I was actually very entertained with She-Hulk as a show. I genuinely fuck you, Rob.
Okay, yeah, I think I've heard enough now. Yeah, no.
So anyways, if you guys would allow me to at least explain.
go ahead.
I feel like my heart is missing.
I enjoyed She-Hulk mainly because I didn't go in with this expectation for anything. I went in completely blind. I didn't look into anything. I didn't tease myself. Like, I do have knowledge of She-Hulk as a character. And I'm going to be real with you guys. If you really want to get technical, they didn't get She-Hulk wrong at all. So, really, if y'all are getting mad about She-Hulk because you think it's a bad show, then in a way you're saying her comic run is bad, which, let's face it fucking isn't. In fact, the She-Hulk comics are some of the most popular ones on the market. So if you're going to sit here and try to hang on. If you're going to sit here and try to tell me that She-Hulk is a bad show because it did this, and this, I don't care. You want to know why? Because I got exactly what I wanted out of the show, and that was a good laugh. I thought the show was funny. I thought the show was entertaining. And the CGI, despite certain instances seeming a little choppy, I thought the CGI was great. And then you also got to keep in mind, I'm a massive fucking fan of the quote-unquote underdogs in Marvel's arsenal. So the fact that fucking Daredevil shows up in this show, and not only does he show up, he's rocking his iconic yellow outfit. I am willing to die on the hill that She-Hulk is not that bad of a fucking show.
I actually agree with that.
Personally, my issue with the show is that, like, I hate how most of the male characters in the show are portrayed. Basically, my hot take from the show is Boss Queen rule, men suck. It's like, I'm just like, why are there only a handful of men that are not portrayed as bad? Which I don't want to go too deep into this because I don't want to get into any political or whatever stuff. I don't want to get too deep into it. I don't want us to get canceled, but like, I just have issue with how the female versus male characters are portrayed, which I understand. Shut up, you. I understand female empowerment, but just don't do it at the expense of putting men down, you know? That's just my opinions on that.
I will say this about She-Hulk as a show. I've watched the whole thing, full 6 episodes, and I thought it was fun. I thought I enjoyed it. It was hilarious, and like, I had a good laugh, especially when in the last episode of She-Hulk, where it just cut off to this Disney Plus screen, and I'm like, did I press something wrong on the remote? Did I exit the show and press something on the remote? And then I realized, oh wait, it's still the freaking episode. Oh. I thought that was just the funniest thing I've ever seen done on a TV show. It was hilarious. And the way they did the Kevin spoof thing, like the Kevin gadget guy, the robot guy named Kevin, spoof of Kevin Feige. I thought that was hilarious and clever. And bear in mind, without She-Hulk, we wouldn't have had the appearance of Scar, aka the son of Hulk, from Sakaar. We wouldn't have had him if it wasn't for She-Hulk. You know?
Yeah.
So because I'm not going to hear many complaints of She-Hulk as a show. It's not a bad show.
Thank you, JJ. It feels nice to know I'm not alone.
And then another
thing. The show is written as is. Any show can be overly comedic, and that's fine with me. Because not all TV shows need to be dark and serious all the time. Because if it was dark and serious all the time, I would be on my chair and feeling bored. So.
And then the other thing I have issue with is that of all the like different villains that they could have had be the big bad for that season or even the series, instead of Abomination. Shut up. Instead of Abomination or even Titania, which Titania was even in the show, but they squandered her potential. They just made her a cringy catty internet celebrity. Instead of any of those being the big bad, it's a cult of incels. I'm just like, seriously?
Beast. I get you dislike this show, but you need to put that gauntlet away because I heard that. You can't just snap the show out of existence, okay?
Yeah, it was written.
This damn thing has a mind of its own. If you want me to you know what? Snap the show out of existence? Ha!
You said the show.
Yeah.
Beast. Think about what you're doing.
Hey. Stop. Hey.
Bye-bye.
No.
Work. Fuck. BC, Savage, JJ, Suko, guys. Fucking hell. You guys alive? Oh well. I'm after your MP Loud convoy then. Oh, hey, there you are. BZ. You okay there? No. Don't. No.
You need help bring back the rest? Yeah. Okay, you can just say no.
Is he gone?
Oh, whew. What the heck did I just go?
All right,
I got snapped out of existence. And
should
I'm
I
back.
help with something? Because I feel like I should help with something here. Hold on. I shall now reverse the time to where he did not use the gauntlet whatsoever. I'm trying to help you, asshole.
I got it. No need.
Oh, so you let him have a power, but I don't.
Anyway, I was actually not finished.
This is actually a bit that was pre-planned. So
anyway, going back to what I just said about She-Hulk, yeah, not every show needs to be dark and serious all the time because otherwise I'll be bored. Because if it's dark and serious, I'll be like,
Beanie, come here.
that's the same thing with the Transformer shows, That's the same thing with the Transformer shows and movies because you see Transformers 1, it's comedic.
yep. That's exactly what you came back for, and you literally just witnessed a massacre.
Yay! Look that!
What you just witnessed was why the Geneva Convention was made. Anyway. So it looks like I get a free, what is that? Is that Siege Omega Supreme? Is a free arc? Metroplex?
Join the after party if he wants to.
Maybe next week. I'm tired. I was barely, honestly, this entire time, I was barely able to handle the amount of people I had tonight. So, yeah, I'm sorry, next week. Are you literally just flying around that fucking belt?
No.
I'm so happy I got him. I'm so happy.
Also,
why don't you just open them on stream at this point? I don't mind.
Because I'm trying to plan to do a live unboxing on my channel maybe in 2 days.
Ah, okay. All right. Never mind then.
And because my StreamYard limit is like 19 hours, 35 minutes, over 20 hours, so I needed to wait for it to reset so that I can actually go live again. So
Oh, so you haven't upgraded yet? Okay.
I haven't upgraded yet. So
Also, free Scorpionaut.
Hang on. Let's try that one more time. Everyone, there's a free Earthrise Titan class Scorpionaut over in Texas.
I know it's the wrong one.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, there go your lungs.
No, there goes my lunch.
The fuck did you do?
I guess I dusted his lunch. Make my day. Make my day, JJ. Please.
He broke it.
There we go.
He broke it.
Strangled him out.
Hey, bring it over. Bring it back over. All right, ready? Try now.
Wait, can you actually? Okay. Hessian.
So you're gonna use that to bring him back?
Yeah, one moment. It's a long one. Okay. Reversing time. Let me see. He's forcing, so I think it was left. Wrong way. What? There we go. I turned him into a specter. Anyway, if he can have ultimate power, I demand one too, motherfucker.
All right. So, anyways, I think this would be a really good time to actually draw this entire episode to a close.
With that being said, will Rob ever stop being Suko?
Before anything, I was actually playing Transformers Armada the game again yesterday, and I had fun playing it. I was enjoying myself because I was able to kill Tidal Wave with in a couple of tries, defeat him by pressing my R2 button with the sniper rifle and shooting at his head. and it's a good thing that I'm not lagging. The game is not lagging on me, and it's a good thing because I'm able to play the game with full experience, and it's so much easier. So yeah.
Okay. Back to what I was saying. Will Rob ever stop being Suko, or will he ever keep being Suko to everyone else? Will JJ finally be able to open that fucking box he's been trying to open this entire fucking time? Will that missing Lego piece ever return? Because I'm saying that for bricks. Will Beast ever get to be able to use his powers properly, or will he go back to madness again? And will Bean always be the Bean? Find out next episode on season 2, Scrapyard, episode number 103.
Episode 103. I haven't lost it.
Lost and found.
Like just
It
like
was gonna be another Redux topic. We were gonna bring an old one from season 1 back up here and kind of re-talk about it. I just got to remember which one it was.
Is it figure related?
It might have been. I don't fully remember.
Oh.
How's this for an idea then? Because I just remember something. We never continued our.
Did someone just
I mean, I know we did a redo of it like 3 times, but did we ever continue our rating of the Megazords?
We did not.
God, I kept having to dip out both times.
Then you know what? Megazord ranking Redux is episode 103, and keep in mind next scrap battle: Prime Megatron versus Animated Megatron.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that being said, thank you guys again for coming out, and for those who appreciated the new Scrapyard setup, this one is only temporary. Once I actually have better things that are specific for Scrapyard, I'll be changing this around again. But yeah, so overall, I'm very happy with this new setup. I'm really liking it, and I'm looking forward to all the possibilities with this new setup and like the many different tricks I now have access to with the upgrade. So hey, season 2 is about to be great. So with that said, guys, I've rambled on long enough. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it as always. And as per usual, I've been BC.
I've been Savage Prime, Master Chef of the Savage Grill and Roast.
The one and only fucking Suko.
Flaming Bees.
I've been JJ Prime.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Oh boy. Oh. We're doing the
No, but no, put it down. I've been doing it to Savage all stream. It's your turn. Take it like a man.
Take it like a man and not an Allen.
What gun is that supposed to be?
Again, I have been doing it to him all stream. Take it like a man.
But I didn't do anything just now.
I
Anyways,
don't know why you were even attacking, dude. Fair, what the fuck?
with that said, everybody, we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Hmm.
Ah! You fuck.